Hello guys, today we'll analyze one stock, and as you can see the name of the stock is Jubilant FoodWorks. So this company has given 117% returns in last 1 year, and you can see that the price of the stock was around rupees 1738 as on August 3, 2020. Now, as an investor, we are more interested in finding out possible returns in the future than the returns which it has already delivered in the past. So, we'll analyze the company. The current price of the stock is around rupees 3775. Now, as I'm recording this video on Sunday, that is why it is showing that there is 0.00% change in today's price. But according to Ticker Tape, the current price of the stock is more than the intrinsic value. While the stock has given better returns than the FD, it has less dividend returns, and it is not a good point to enter in this stock because stock is in overbought zone. Now recently stock gave a very good rally because of which there are more buyers, while there are no red flags because it is not in ASM or GSM list. Now company is into very safe and future proof business, which is of restaurant and cafe, the food business. It is a large cap having market cap around rupees 50,000 crores, and we can see that it is among the top 100 stocks. Company is moderate risk because it is 2.12 times volatile as Nifty. The P ratio of the stock is 214. Now this P ratio looks huge, but when we compare it to sector, we can see that the sector P ratio is minus 362. Now it is in minus because other companies in the industry have not been able to generate profits. So looking at this, we can say that P ratio of the company is good, while the PB ratio of the company is 43.89, while sector PB is 5.18. Now, major reason here is that Jubilant FoodWorks have been able to generate regular profits, because of which its book value is so. Also guys, please don't forget to like the video if you found this content useful, and do subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for being updated. Now operations of JFL. Now JFL have the rights for the Domino's, which is a US chain. They have the rights to operate restaurant in India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Nepal. And more importantly, during the COVID times, this Domino's ensured all the customers' safety. There was contactless delivery, regular technological improvement. So it is one of the leading profit generator for the company. They also have the rights for the Dunkin' Donuts, and this Hong's Kitchen is one of the restaurant chain which is introduced by the company Jubilant itself. It is into Chinese cuisine segment. Another one is Chef Boss, which is a FMCG vertical with the company. Now, one more brand for the company is Ekdam, which is into biryanis, and recently company acquired rights to operate the restaurant named Popeyes into India, which is mainly into non-veg food. Looking at the business strength of JFL, then they have infrastructural excellence and 1,380 restaurants plus 12 supply chain and distribution centers over the country. Pan-India presence and located across 298 cities, consistently focusing on technology. Also, they have very experienced senior team which helps a lot in their business, committed team of 30,000 plus employees, and certified networks which are 150 plus. When we compare the company with its peers, then peers are Westlife Development, which have the chain of McDonald's, Burger King India, and Barbecue Nation. So we can see that P ratio of the Jubilant Foodwork is the highest among these companies, but it is the only company having the P ratio in positive, while other companies have P ratio in negative, which means they are not able to generate profits. The PB ratio of Jubilant is around 40, which is second highest, and highest is of Barbecue Nation, which is 296, and Jubilant is the only company giving dividends. Now also there is one more IPO coming recently. It will open on 4th of August 2021, which is of Devyani International, and they also have the rights to operate Pizza Hut, Yum, KFC restaurant chain in India. When we look at the shareholding pattern, we can see that promoters holding is around 41.94%. This yellow part denotes the holding which are pledged by the promoters. So there are few pledged promoter holding, while FII and FPIs have holding above 40%. Mutual funds have holding approx 9%. Remaining is with retail and other parties, which is almost 6.21%. Also, insurance companies have holding around 2%. So we can see lot of big players have invested in this company, and this shows the trust of the market over this company. Also, CRISIL has given short-term rating to company as A1 plus, which is the best rating. So these are very positive signs for the company. We will now have a look at the numbers posted by JFL in the first quarter of FY22. Now, due to the second wave of COVID, there was nationwide lockdown, and everybody was expecting lesser numbers or lesser profit from this company, but the company posted a profit of rupees 623 million. So the result was above the street estimates, because of which there was a good rally in the stock. While if we compare the numbers of the same quarter of last year, we can see that there was a loss of rupees 726 million. So during this quarter of FY22, company gave excellent results, and in overall FY22, company generated good revenue, and there was good profit after tax even after the restrictions of the COVID. Now, when we look at the past earnings, we can see that company has grown its earnings at an average of 11% from in last 5 years, which is more than the industry as well as the market. But when we look at the earnings growth in the last 1 year, we can see they are 179%, while industry has decreased their earnings by 63%. So we can see how JFL has outperformed the industry. The returns ratios, return on equity for the company is 26%, but for the industry it is just 1.5%. Return on assets is 14.3%. For industry it is just 2.2%. Return on capital employed is above 23%. So we can see that company is able to generate very good returns irrespective of the industry. Having a look at the debt to equity part, the blue line is the equity portion here, while this red line is the debt part. We can see from 2016 to 2020 there was zero debt, but then company took debt, then it decreased debt, then again took. So company is taking debt, then also doing the repayment of the debt. So the current debt to equity ratio is above 100%, which is 112%. So looking at this pattern, we can expect the repayment of the debt by the company very soon. Having a look at the financial position, we can see in the short term, assets and liabilities are almost similar. Liabilities are slightly more than the assets, but in long term, assets are far more than the liabilities, which is again a good sign for the company. When we have a look at the income statement, then in this FY20 and FY21, obviously there was impact of COVID. So because of which company's revenue has decreased, or we can say the revenue growth has been impacted. But then also company has been able to generate a good revenue growth in the last 5 years. Also, the market share of the company has increased from 32% to almost 50%. And one more important point, when the net income of the company decreased in the past 2 years, then also company didn't decrease its dividend payments. So this is a good sign from the management side of the company. Also guys, if you want me to cover any specific stock, then please let me know in the comment section below. Now we'll have a look at the chart of Jubilant Foods. Now guys, this is the chart of JFL on a 1 day time frame. Now I can find one good support for this stock at the level of 3000, and we can see that stock broke this level in the month of May earlier, but then it again moved upwards, but then it started consolidating and started coming back to this support level. And we can see few days ago only stock was very near to this support level, and after that stock just rallied and moved upwards. Also, I wouldn't recommend you to buy the stock at the current price. But if you are already invested in this stock and if you are a long-term investor, then you can keep being invested. There might be some correction in the stock in the future. And as of now, I think 3250 to 3200 is a good level to enter in this stock. If we get a chance of some correction in this stock and we get these levels, then we can look for the fresh entry. But as we also discussed earlier that currently stock is in an overbought zone, so it is not wise to enter in this stock at the current. Now guys, this was all from this video. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you.